Hey, Peter. Congrats on the win. You guys up 2-0 there. The red card comes in. What was the message to the guys at that moment? And what do you think was the reason why they kind of ended up one up in that situation, even being down a man with Vermes' goal that came one up in the scoreline of the
Okay.
period? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. You lost me.
I talked too much. Sorry.
You said 7 questions, so I'll answer the first one. I think, good to get to 2-0. We go down to man. I think the big thing was, thank you. It's a combination of two things, right? You got to really compact the field. We got to stay as basically, almost 2 lines. It's not 3 really, it's 2. And the wingers have a big job in that situation. That is, they have to become outside backs at times when the ball's on the weak side. What I thought we did was we really clogged the middle, and for us to get out on the counter like we did a couple times was huge. There was a great fight in the team from the opening whistle. You take the shot, from the kickoff, which right away we go and press high. All of that was it was part of the intensity. It's definitely a replica of what has been happening over the last couple of weeks in the way that we've been training as well.
Over the years, it seems like you guys have managed those 10-man situations a lot with the decision day in 2018. For you, what goes into making decisions there tactically that has led to so much success in those situations?
Well, I mean, look, I'm not, I've coached a lot of those situations. I've never been on the field, so it's the players first. In those moments, you sort of get galvanized. You become upset that your guy got thrown out, and now all of a sudden you want to prove to the ref and everybody else that, hey, you're not gonna break us. And the guys had a great mentality for that. They were covering each other. Guys were running back, good tackles. I mean, it was very smart on our part. We did a great job and a couple times keeping the ball in the corner. I thought we managed the game really, really well. Even though that the referees were trying to hurry us up for what reason, I don't know, because we never changed our pace. They changed their pace. They were slow in the first half, and now all of a sudden, for some reason, the score line changes the game. It makes no sense to me that it happens that way. We were the same pace the whole entire time we played the game.
Peter, you tried Zorn Basong at defensive midfielder today. Can you kind of talk about how he performed there?
It was fantastic. It was fantastic.
And then obviously,
go ahead.
I was gonna say just a very different lineup in general too. Was it with the eyes towards Tuesday in the Open Cup?
No, it was to get the result, and we did. I played young guys.
Daniel Shalloway's goal, it starts with him clearing the ball out, and then he makes a field-length run that ends up overlapping with Eric and then finishes with his left foot. So just what did you see from him tonight, in particular on that play with that effort?
Which guy? I'm sorry, which guy?
Daniel Shalloway.
Oh. The thing about Daniel is that, I mean, he has goals in him. He also has grit. He doesn't probably get a lot of credit for this. Like he has very good work ethic in the game. He really does. And he's learned over the years on both sides of the ball. So we were talking about getting to the back post, especially when you're the weak side. Because there was one in the first half, another one that he could have gotten on to the end of that he didn't. But he was good in it. And then one then he was really in the box in the second half when Johnny kind of broke through and he played. The guy cleared it off the line. He was right there. So a lot of it has to do with the commitment to get to those places. That's why he scored and actually he had a really good game. He was also defensively, he was very good. Very disciplined. We went down a man.
And then I know you were with the team at halftime when Benny Feilhaber was memorialized as a sporting legend, but you brought him here and now have worked alongside him as a coach. He mentioned when he came here he had high hopes, but didn't necessarily think that it would end with him as a multi-time champion and sporting legend. So just what are your thoughts on him as both a player and now a coach with the club?
Yeah, I've said this before. I think when at the time when we got Benny, we needed something in our team, and that was at that time teams started to park the bus on us back then, and we didn't have somebody to unlock the defense. And so Benny became a really big priority going into 2013. And so we got him in the offseason, and he surpassed, I think, what the expectation was. It took him a little while to get there, though. I mean, it was some pain for him because he wasn't in a place where he was playing on both sides of the ball, and so he needed to learn. And sometimes the bench was the best coach, but he got it, and he figured out that he had to be a lot fitter than he was. But when he got it, he became instrumental, especially in the playoff run, because he gave the game-winning assist against New England to win that series, and also the same thing against Houston, to eventually get to the final. So yeah, very, very important player during that time period. Good mentality, and always wanted to win. And Benny has one other quality that it's hard to find in guys these days, and that is he loves the game. And some guys play the game because they're good at it and they make a good living, but he loves the game, and that was a big reason why I think he eventually and we got out of him maybe even more than maybe he thought he had in him.
Earlier, you mentioned that the fire that you saw tonight of this team was something you've been seeing over a little bit. Over the last couple of weeks, what changed with this team, do you think, in that, and where is that coming from?
I think there's been moments in a lot of games prior to the last couple of weeks, but I think in these last couple of weeks, however you want to put it, whether it's some time off, a little break, mentally, physically, whatever, but they've been playing with a different energy. You also have to. There's times when certain things happen within the team, and I'll give you an example. Like today, Jake and Basong together in the midfield, they were workhorses, and because they're doing what they do, it helps everybody else also in the game, and that was a big part of our success today. Those two guys.
Congrats on the win tonight, Coach. Seeing Russell come on in the second half and make an instant impact, I was curious with the decision to start Steven tonight. Is it about managing Russell's minutes with Tuesday right around the corner?
As I said before, look, we put a team out on the field to win tonight, and we got the result. The other thing is that you have to understand, you play a Saturday, Wednesday. We're playing Saturday, Tuesday. The game is incredibly important on Tuesday for us. We want to get to the final. You can't get to the final unless you win the semifinal, and you have to manage minutes on players. There's a few guys that are a little bit older, and I thought that certain guys have had a steady go. An example is Tommy's been very reliable for a long time during the season, and he's a guy that could go 60 minutes. Steven's a young guy. He can go and he can push himself. So it was good to be able to give those guys a little bit of rest, and now give ourselves an opportunity to make sure that we have another good lineup to go and try and win on Tuesday.
Peter, thank you very much for the time. Congrats on the win.
Thanks.
That concludes tonight's post-match press conference with Sporting Kansas City. The team's home locker room will be open for interviews with players. We'll also have video and audio